Good evening. I'm Leslie Brock, Executive Director of Donate Life Northwest. In 2018, Governor Brown signed legislation designating the second week of April of every year Organ, Eye, and Tissue Donor Appreciation Week. Included in this legislation was the creation of the Oregon Gifts of Life Award, which honors the families of organ, eye, and tissue donors from the previous year. I want to thank you for joining us to honor all donor families in Oregon in 2020. Today, we recognize the families of 3 donors, Lauren Layton, Austin Prather, and Callie Epstein. These families represent the hundreds throughout Oregon whose loved ones gave the generous gifts of life, sight, and health to others through donation last year. We want to thank Governor Brown for recognizing these families with the Gifts of Life Award in appreciation of their generous and amazing gifts. And now, let's take a moment to hear from those families.
Lauren Layton was our organ donor. He was 62 years old when he passed. He and his wife Irene were married 40 wonderful years. He was a loving father to us 3 girls and a grandfather, or Baba as they referred to him as. He was also a loving brother and friend. Lauren was a quiet man, one of those people who didn't necessarily speak up, so when he did talk, it was important for you to listen to his advice. He was a godly man, and it was a privilege to watch his relationship with Jesus grow over the recent years. He found humor in ridiculous puns, and although he didn't play many practical jokes on his birthday, April Fools, he did have quite the prankster side. Lauren had many hobbies. He was a gardener, an avid fisherman, especially on the McKenzie River, and had picked up running in more recent years. About 5 months before he passed, he ran a marathon and qualified for the Boston Marathon. He loved hiking and enjoyed views of mountains and wildflowers. He was a Beaver fan, and having graduated from OSU, and enjoyed watching their football and baseball games. Lauren was a wonderful man and is truly missed.
To honor Dad's memory, we do activities that he liked to do. Fishing, running, hiking, traveling, pre-COVID. Help us feel connected to him. My sister has organized an annual honor run to bring others together to do one of his favorite pastimes. We don't shy away from talking about his story. We talk about our favorite memories to relive the good times we had together. To honor his decision of being an organ donor, we did an honor walk to the operating room for Dad's last moments here on Earth. To bring further awareness to organ donation, we try to normalize the discussion about this issue.
Organ donation brought light into the darkest moments of Dad passing. Dad suffered a brain injury after falling off a ladder. That was completely unexpected. We had the hope of knowing that in his death, Dad could save multiple lives. There was comfort in Dad's story, not ending with the accident, but his legacy continuing through the recipients of organ, eye, and tissue donation. A few years before Dad's accident, we had a friendly friend pass away while on the wait list for a double lung transplant. We knew Dad being an organ donor would not only transform the lives of the individual receiving the organs, but also bring life and hope to entire families.
Our family has appreciated the support we have received from Donate Life to be involved in encouraging others to sign up to be donors and to honor the wishes of those who are on the donor list, like we did in Lauren's case. Thank you, Donate Life, for recognizing our family's efforts to inform others about organ, eye, and tissue donation. Having hope from our loved one being a donor has been our light in the darkness. Our family will continue to share and encourage others to be donors as we share Lauren's story. On behalf of the Layton family, thank you for the privilege and the honor of receiving the Oregon Gifts of Life Award.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Prather, and this is my husband, Lonnie Prather, and we're here today to talk about our son, Austin. Austin was such a great part of our family. He had such a wonderful sense of humor, and he loved sports. He was the ultimate sports person. He played basketball, soccer, track, tennis, and football while he was in high school. He also played college basketball. Austin was a wonderful friend, brother, sibling to everybody that he knew, and he also loved his children. They were his universe. Austin was a special education teacher. He loved his students, and always was so proud of all their accomplishments. When he was in grade school, he was part of a mentoring program to work with children with special needs. He followed that passion all the way through his junior high and high school years. In college, he became a special education teacher. He loved his students. He was constantly writing notes to them, high-fiving them, helping them out. They called him Mr. P or Mr. Prather. Unfortunately, our son Austin passed away in March of 2018. Austin was able to donate, though, his heart, lungs, kidneys, cornea, and his tissue. We'd like to thank the people from Donate Life Northwest. They were so amazing, walking our family through that terrible path we had to take. We'd like to thank you for the honor of the Oregon Gifts of Life Award we're receiving on Austin's behalf. Austin would be so humbled to know there were so many people he was able to give the gift of life for. We'd like to thank you all.
Who was Callie? Callie was a typical 18-year-old on the cusp of making his way out into the world. Cal was born and raised in Beaverton and was an important part of a close-knit family. We were the kind of family who got together for every holiday, every birthday, spent the summers taking annual camping trips together, and occasionally went on vacations to Disneyland or to the beach. Cal was an active part in the community. He was also one to notice if somebody was having a bad day, and he wasn't afraid to check in on you and give you a hug if you needed it. Overall, just Cal was one of those kids who made the world a better place.
And as Cal's brother, I can really agree with that. I've seen so many times when someone was having a hard time, or there's someone who wasn't making friends, Cal would be able to make friends with them and make them feel loved. I can also say that Cal always had something to say, whether it was some silly argument or talking about his interests, anything like that. There was never a dull moment with him, and he's responsible for a lot of things I've been interested in, from music, card games, lots of things like that. So that was what I really liked about him.
Giving the gift of donation at the time and to this day means so much to us. Cal was an incredibly giving person. He would bring his friends coffee drinks from Dutch or give them rides endlessly. He was always remembering people's birthdays or special moments and reaching out to do things for them. So honoring Cal's memory by giving his organs has been incredibly valuable for us. We hope to be able to meet the recipients someday, but even if we don't, we feel like thinking about parts of Cal being out there, giving the gift of life to others, gives us some measure of hope during what is a really tough time. Receiving the Gift of Life Award is honestly a little bittersweet. What we'd really like is to have our beautiful boy back. However, the number of recipients in need of organs far exceeds the number of willing donors on any given day. So if this conversation and a recognition of Cal's donation inspires others to donate their organs, we're grateful for the opportunity to be able to help others in this way.
We are so grateful for the generosity of all organ, eye, and tissue donors in Oregon. And a special thank you to the Layton, Prather, and Epstein families for sharing their stories with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.